Miss Godfrey's question. So Miss Smith has asked, with 6 kids, a wife, how do you manage the family and find time for yourself? And so you spoke to that earlier. Do you want to add anything more on that question?
You learn your skill set. And it's a tweaking. It's a daily tweaking. It's not one way. Please get that in your head. I used to think, man, I wish there was a book just about marriage, about how to be the best husband. It's tweaking. It's a process because our kids get older. We get older. We become wiser. We learn more. Certain things that used to aggravate us don't aggravate us, and vice versa. Certain things that did aggravate us don't aggravate us anymore. So it's a tweaking, and it's a process. Enjoy the process. That's what I say, because our oldest daughter is graduating this year, and it went by really, really quick. Now, I'll add, I'm happy to see her go, but at the same time, when I look at all of our videos and pictures that we have as a family, it's just like, where did the time go? They're going to be gone soon, and it'll just be us. So what would we have done to make sure that we are ready for that stage of our lives? Because that is coming. It's coming for sure. All 6 of the kids will be gone, and it's going to be me and Shatanice, and we are leaving the United States.
All right, so our next question comes from Miss Hill, and she asked, in our society, with you working at home, have you had to overcome any negative perceptions, specifically dealing with masculinity and people not thinking that you're a man because you're not the breadwinner?
Absolutely. I've had the Bible thrown at me that the man is supposed to provide, and let's stop at that point right there. A man can provide finances, but don't provide security. Don't provide time. Don't provide spiritual or emotional stability to his family. I say, whatever the provide is, I strongly believe that's what I'm doing. Where I am right now, this is my path. This is what God has called me to do at this moment in season of my life in our marriage for our family. I know this is not going to be something that I do all the time, because once our last child hits pre-K, I can now go into the school system and work and get paid, get off in time to make sure that we have all of our kids. My passion and my aspirations have always wanted to be a teacher. So this right here is great background or just learning, I should say, a learning ground, a preparation to deal with certain attitudes and deal with certain aspects that I'll have to deal with in our school systems. Now, granted, I don't have the paperwork to say that I am a teacher, but I definitely have the skill set. So did I have people say, I can't believe that you are staying at home and your wife? Yes, I did. And I realized that you cannot share your dreams, your goals, and your aspirations with everyone, because it's hard for them to understand. And you know what? That is okay. It's okay. So you have to be comfortable as a man, and I am well comfortable as a man doing what I do. This is what I'm supposed to be doing. I just wish I got paid for it.
You get paid.
Yeah, I get paid. It's not monetary, but I get paid. She pays me well.
So our next question comes from Ms. Rosario Spencer.
Okay.
And her question is, do you follow a schedule, and how does that work for you?
Great question, Ms. Spencer. In the beginning, yeah, I followed a schedule. I thought I was going to have a schedule, but I learned very quickly that kids have their own schedule. They get sick unexpectedly. They don't want to do their work like you want them to do their work. They get tired. They need to go outside. You have to change diapers. Oh, you forgot about the clothes upstairs that just finished washing. Now you got to put them in the dryer. You got to get groceries. The school just called, so you got to run up to the school to do something for another child. Your wife just called and said she forgot her lunch, so you need to bring her some lunch. I mean, just stuff happens. So I have learned that, you know what? We're going to go with the flow. Now, there are certain things that has to be done on a daily basis, but for the most part, I just let it flow. And I'm okay if something doesn't get done the way I wanted it to get done. My thought is, there's tomorrow.
And the next day.
And the next day. And the day after that.
All right, so our next question comes from Ms. T. Kenyatta.
Okay.
And she says, what do you say to people who, similar to the earlier question about you're a man and you need to be working, and do you have anything additional to add to that question?
I am working. For all of you out there who think that this is not a job, I have been I've worked for corporate America for 9 years. I've worked in hotels. I've worked at the malls. I've worked in the field when I was younger. I've worked some of every job since I was 16 and I could actually work. And so all I know is working. And I will continue to work until we retire and I don't have to work anymore. And so I am comfortable with that. This is work. What I do every day is work. Let me give you just a quick breakdown of my schedule. I have 6 kids and my beautiful wife. 6 o'clock in the morning. Now, this is 5 days a week. 6 o'clock, the alarm goes off. I have to get 6 kids up. 6 who don't want to get out of bed, including my teens, who want to wait. So between 6 and 6:30, I'm running back and forth to each room, making sure that everybody's getting up, everybody's getting their clothes on. At 6:30, my oldest daughter should be out. Half of the time, she's not. So I am running around the house saying, it's 6:15, it's 6:20, just to remind her that, hey, it's time for you to get going. So 7 o'clock rolls around, my son, Joshua, he has to be at the bus stop. So my oldest son runs him up to the bus stop. At 7:30, I take my I take Hannah to the pre-K, and that's about 4 or 5 miles away from here. Then I drop my oldest son off at high school, which is another 7 miles from her place. And then I come back to the house with me, Nina, and Josiah. Most of the time, Josiah and Nina are asleep for a few hours so I can get some stuff done. And it's very important to do whatever you can do while the kids are asleep. If they're asleep at the same time. If they're asleep at the same time, golden opportunity to get clothes washed and hung up and folded, maybe prepare dinner, bills, because I am the CEO of the house. I have to do all the finances and make sure that everything is up and running properly. And I can honestly say that we have never been in the red. That's awesome. And that's something that the stay-at-home parent is solely responsible for. So we have a lot of responsibility. Our schedules are packed consistently. 6 kids, doctor's appointments, dentist appointments, meetings at the schools, getting to work, getting them back home from work, taking some personal time for myself, date nights with my wife. It's a job. Folks, this is a job. And so I work really, really hard. I compare this job in comparison to my previous job, and I said I was on vacation. I really was. I went to work. I rode the train. Nobody's bothering me. I can listen to my music. I get it to my desk at my job, in my office. I make some phone calls, talk to a couple of lawyers. That's it. Nobody's asking me to change diapers. Nobody need milk, cereal, no doctor's appointments. None of that at all. I really do think that it was a vacation. So this is, you have to be on it consistently, job, because everything falls on you.
So our final question comes from Ms. Johnson, and she basically was asking what your whole take was on the situation of being a stay-at-home father, and similar to what some of our other viewers had asked about you feeling less of a man. So if you could just kind of wrap our conversation up with, overall, are you excited? Would you go back and make any changes in terms of leaving and going back to the office? Or
Absolutely not. I wouldn't change anything. I can honestly say that I've met some wonderful people within the school system, principals, vice principals, school teachers, some awesome relationships within the school sector. So which is something that I want to do after all of our kids are in school. So it's preparing me. I know that it's preparing me. I am very clear of the vision for our house, and that's what you have to bank on, your clarity of where you, as a man, how you want your family to go and the direction that you want it to go in. So I'm not letting a job define me as a man, because I could be at a 9-to-5 job miserable as a man. And so the quality of life here at home would be horrible, because then I bring all of that at the house. My kids want to have some time with me, and I'm tired, I'm worn down, and the quality of those relationships would not be the same. So I don't take anything for regret at all. I love it. I'll continue to do it regardless of what anybody says about it. Unless God tells me to go back into the work sector out there, I'll be right here. This is my job. And I'll continue to do it until I don't have to do it anymore.
Well, thank you very much for coming here and sharing your story. And with that, I want to say thank you to everyone who's watching, and stay tuned for our next video. So, see you later.
See you
Bye.
later.